Hello everybody, welcome back once again to the Final Fantasy Tactics walkthrough. We are on our second of, I think it ends up being 10, deep dungeon maps. So this one is Terminate. Wow, that sounds disturbing. Terminate. Alright, so anyways, as far as rewards here, which is the big reason why we do these, right? We've got an elixir, save the queen, blood sword, and another elixir. None of these items are unique. I mean, the blood sword that I obtained a billion years ago from Gafgarian. And let's see what else. Save the queen, I believe that came along with Melidol when she joined. So, that being said, unfortunately, nothing real interesting, I would say, for this battle, as far as rewards go. You know, again, if you need more blood swords, I guess you could poach them. That's not how I would go about it. You know, just the simple fact that they can be duplicated. That's obviously the route that I went with. And then the Save the Queen, same thing. You know, not only can they be duplicated, but obviously Melidol already came with one equipped. And so, you know, duplicating that, it would be the way to go, you know, if you needed more. Elixirs, actually, and I don't think I've actually mentioned this in any of the other videos, but elixirs, while they are useful, those are also poachable from... it's one of the Ochus. I don't remember what tier of Ochu, if it's the first one or the second or third. I can't remember. But again, those are not exactly rare either. A pain in the butt to get, yes, but obtainable through other less annoying means. How's that? But anyways, as I you know, wanted to, you know, I guess have a complete walkthrough here, I am going to obtain those treasures here. Now I'm nearly 100% sure. No, I'm gonna back up. I can't make that claim. At some point here, I do believe I end up with a Phoenix down. So I'll try to point out not only when that happens, but I'll try to figure out what the reward was actually supposed to be. And again, I actually don't remember if it's in this video or if it's in one of the later ones, but I do know at some point my move find item fails me. So, anyways, all right. So for this battle, you know, not too much to worry about here. We've got a bunch of archers, which could have posed a bit of a problem, I believe. If I remember correctly, this battle actually ends up turning out kind of interesting. And I don't want to jump too far ahead of myself, but if I remember correctly, at a certain point, somebody gets knocked out of range of one of these archers, and so you'll notice here they're all charging, you know, using their charge attacks, and I'm pretty sure one of them like crits and push. There it is. Okay, perfect. So if you notice there, 3 of the archers had him targeted in, you know, the panel that he was in, and then the 4th one, who didn't bother charging, knocked him out of the panel, and so now the other 3 are actually going to miss, which I think is just hilarious. So kind of interesting, and I know I've mentioned this a couple of times before, but I hate the charge attacks, and this is one of the reasons why. So, excuse me. But anyways, all right. So it looks like Orlando took a huge beating there. That's the problem with rushing the enemies. And all right, so Rafa's gonna recover 1 brave. So when I use cheer up on her, unfortunately, that means that she's going to be at 11 brave. So she will have an 11% chance to get, you know, a Phoenix down due to that move find item. There's a whiff. Here's a whiff. He would have been dead if if the one archer didn't knock him out of the way. I may have had to redo this battle too if that was the case. Although it does look like Rams has got the item command, so at the very least he would have been able to revive him. But, oh, what did I do here? Okay. So I think this time around, instead of bringing her brave up using the cheer up command, I think I just let it time out. Sorry. I think I let it, or let her recover automatically. So it's going to take a couple of turns, unfortunately, for her to get back up to 10 brave so I can control her again. But I think that's the route that I took. And if I remember correctly, the exit panel was down somewhere by where Orlando's at now. You know, somewhere down at this side of the map. So obviously we started up higher and kind of made our way down here. And then, so one other thing I want to add here, obviously we've got a couple of undead enemies. Now, the problem with the undead enemies, obviously in this, is that I'm turning them into stone, or at least I turned the first one into stone. And, you know, the problem with that is, well, that means that they're not able to turn into crystals and light up the area for us. So, you know, is that a big deal? Probably not, especially if you're, you know, semi-familiar with how the deep dungeon works. That, and again, and then on top of that, I guess, well, there's plenty of human enemies here with, you know, some fairly decent probability that at least one of them is going to turn into a crystal at some point, so that we can shed a little light on the map. But, you know, again, if not, it's not that big of a deal, especially if you're, you know, fairly comfortable navigating without light, which, again, you know, I've already done this probably 10 times, I'm going to guess. I should say I've done all of these maps at least 10 times. At least that's my recollection, and thus, you know, I'm fairly comfortable with navigating, you know, without any light. All right, let's get this guy down. It's looking like my guess here is that I'm gonna keep that one undead asleep there, just so that, you know, I can essentially kill everything else off and not have to worry about without him running amok, I guess I could say. So that's the plan. We'll see how it all turns out. We're gonna petrify this guy too. Now, actually, I want to add one more thing here. Being that those enemies are petrified there, obviously I'm not going to be able to move. Now, the good thing was, if you noticed, neither of those two enemies, when they ended their turns there, stepped on a trap, meaning there is no item to be found there. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean, though, that the exit panel couldn't be underneath them, which would have been horrible, but luckily that wasn't the case either. So just keep in mind, you know, depending on what you do, if you're, you know, and who knows, if you're doing this level, there's a good chance that you won't even run into this set of enemies like I did here. Obviously, the enemies that are generated here are a bit different. They're not the same every single time. So, you know, keep that in mind as well. So what I ran into here in this level is not necessarily going to be the group of enemies that you will face. That is the case for most of these, other than the very, very, very last level of the deep dungeon, in which case that is a set encounter for the first time at least. Subsequent encounters can kind of change up a bit. But, alright, so I guess I'm trying to speed up Rafa here, trying to get her, and man, this was super time consuming. I really wish I wouldn't have done it this way. I should have just used the cheer up command on her one more time so that she would, you know, kind of get moving. Here I don't know, I'm kind of just wasting turns with Beowulf, to be honest. I could have just, you know, walked over and killed that guy. That would have been a much better use of my turn. I really don't need to put anybody else asleep. But, alright. Hopefully we get these guys taken down here pretty quickly, and then we can concentrate on... There we go. So get them both. There we are. So now we can try to concentrate on actually finding the exit panel. There she is. Okay. So there. Alright, so there's our first treasure there, which is the elixir. I believe that's X12Y5. So if I don't have the map pivoted correctly here. Yeah, I need to in order to try to describe, you know, the coordinate locations of this. Basically, what I needed to do is pivot the map. Boy, what would that be? Clockwise once? There you go. Just like that. Okay. So, this is X0, Y0. This is X1, Y0. So this is X1, Y, like, you know, 10 or whatever that is. So anyways, let's rattle off the treasures here. So X0, Y4 is an elixir. X1, Y8 is Save the Queen. X7, Y2 is a blood sword. And X10, Y6 is another elixir. So, trying to think of what one, that must have been, yeah, X10, Y6. So where she's standing at right now, the first elixir. But, all right, so let's try to get to our next ones here. Keep in mind the one thing that is similar with all of these dungeons is the actual treasure locations. So while the enemies that I fight might be different than yours, and the exit panel is probably going to be in a different panel than yours, the treasure locations do remain the same. So, you know, at least there's one thing that a walkthrough can do for you. But I will say, like I said, I believe it was the last video, the exit panels, in my opinion, are generated in they seem to be certain or areas. I'm gonna say. Again, normally I never, or from my recollection anyway, the exit panels weren't usually anywhere near the entrance or where your characters initially start off at in the map. So take that for what it's worth. You know, who knows though? They very well could put them there for all I know. But all right, so let's make our way to this next treasure. Hopefully it won't take too long. And here is the agonizing process of trying to find the exit panel. And Ramza, I guess, I started up at the top with him, and there's the blood sword. Okay. So the blood sword was X7Y2. So, yeah. Again, unfortunately, I already had a bunch of those. Well, I should say, I think I had 2 of them. I never ended up duplicating any more than 2. Apparently 2 was enough to carry me throughout, you know, the tough points in the game, and that's all I really ended up needing. Alright, so what are we looking for here? Yeah, I'm thinking X1, Y8 is probably the next one, or... oh, no, maybe it's X0, Y4. That's actually probably where I'm headed. One... Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Where am I going? Wow, okay. I'm not sure where I'm going next. I guess we're gonna find out. You sure you want to move here? I guess. Alright, so one last thing, I guess. Again, keep in mind that if you're trying to find the exit panel, the character that you're searching with has to have the move find item. And again, that's from the chemist job. Same with, obviously, the treasures. Maybe that was already obvious, but I feel like I need to state that anyway. But again, if you're looking for the treasures, you know, have that move find item command movement ability from the chemist learned and equipped. Oh, there's a little bit of light for us. Alright, so where are we going to? X0Y4. There's one. That's an elixir. Yep. Okay. So the last one should be X1Y8. So we should actually be pretty close to that one with her already. And Ramza's way off. He's looking for exit panels, and he's on the wrong side of the map. I know I didn't find it over there. I'm fairly certain it was down near these guys. Alright, where are we going with Mustadio here? Oh. I think at the very end of the line that I'm taking with Mustadio, I think that's the last treasure. So I wanted to make sure I didn't step on that panel. Obviously, Mustadio does not have a very good rate of finding the rare there. I believe his Brave is at 97, so he would have only had a 3% chance to find that rare. Which again, is to save the queen. So hopefully I actually get that. I feel like that's by far the best treasure on this entire map. And hopefully I don't end up with like a lousy Phoenix down for this walkthrough. There it is! Okay. So there you have it. That's the save the queen. And I think very shortly here we're going to find the panel. And so then we can just kill off this undead terror and be on our way. Oh, not there. Alright, where are we going? Right here? Could it be? There it is! Alright. Found a path that goes further on. So there we have it. We've found everything. Again, keep in mind, my exit panel won't necessarily be the same as yours. So, anyways, good luck. And I am going to end this video here. So, as always, I hope this guide was helpful. And I hope you join me for more videos. Thanks for watching.